All righty. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. So tonight we're going to go over oils and products and safety regarding pregnancy, labor, and postpartum periods for moms and babies. So first of all, quick housekeeping. I think most of us here know how to use Zoom, but if you need anything, you can either unmute or just pop a question in the chat as we're going so you don't forget it. We'll also have a quick time at the end if you think of a question. Secondly, I would just like the three moms here who are going to be leading us to do some quick introductions. So first of all, my name is Crystal. I am a mom of a 5-year-old boy and a 1-year-old girl, and we live in Higganum on a little farm. We're a homeschooling family. We like homesteading. My 1-year-old's about to throw the door open. Jake, can you shut that door, please? Thanks. Sorry. Yep, just shut that. Okay, so yep, just shut the door. Sorry, guys. Real life here, real life. That's about it on me. Someone else take it away, please.
I'm Jamie. I am a mom to a 4-year-old daughter with another one on the way in a couple of weeks. Working full-time still, so dealing with the struggles of being 9 months pregnant and working. That's pretty much what takes up our time these days is the 4-year-old and the working and getting ready for baby.
Yay. I'm Tiffany. I'm a mom of 5, ranging from, let's see, 7 months to 10 years old. So this is like my favorite topic. So I'm very excited to be here. And I just love using these natural tools with my family. So here we go. Let's kick it off.
Awesome. All right, first and foremost, I just want to give you guys a quick resource. So tonight we're going to be talking all about Young Living essential oils because as the three of our families have chosen to use that company because we put our trust in it. And I can pretty much say all three of us have done that because of the seed to seal promise that we have within our company. So if you guys, after this video, after you watch it, can go to seedtoseal.com, you can learn all about the purity and quality behind these oils. And why, I feel safe putting them on my infant, putting them on, when I was pregnant, putting them on during labor and delivery. But basically we have science and standards and sourcing that tops the charts as far as safety goes. So definitely check out that website. Also tonight, most of us are going to be taking our information from this book right here. Love this book. So it's called Betsy Bosom's Baby Book. So Lucy Libido has a book all about like love and libido. And so this is a little spin-off of that, all about babies. And it talks about what oils are safe, what oils to stay away from, which ones to dilute extra. It gives you great recipes. So we're all going to be sharing some information from here. So first, I want to turn it over to Jamie, who's going to talk about pregnancy because she is living it right now. So she'll give you some tips, then I'll come back and I'll talk about labor and delivery. And then Tiffany will finish us off talking about that postpartum period for mom and baby. So go ahead, Jamie.
All right. So I'm going to start with pregnancy. So we all know pregnancy, our body goes through this immense change of hormones, energy level, skin changes, our sleep changes, our digestive system, our emotions, the whole gamut, everything changes. So I'm going to take each trimester kind of head on. But before I do that, I'm going to, talk about kind of some pregnancy things in general. As far as safety precautions go, I already have somebody crying outside my door, so real life is happening here. If you sounds like somebody hit their head. So I always like to tell people to remember that every body is different. So dilution is super duper important when you're using any new product. And it's always important to remember that every, over-the-counter product has a toxic level. So just knowing how to use your products properly is always super important. There are some oils to avoid during pregnancy. Most of these are also oils that are great when you're conceiving. Like Crystal talked about, the Lucy Libido book actually talks about a lot of these oils for being great for, conceiving. And Crystal will actually talk about some of them for helping during labor and delivery. So they're oils you want during labor and delivery, but obviously not in the middle of your pregnancy. So some of those are clary sage, fennel and dragon thyme, those are very hormonal oils. So you don't really want to be mixing with those during pregnancy, but towards the end when you're ready for baby to be out, those are great oils to be using. Menthol oils should also be kind of used in moderation and usually not topically on your belly. There was actually something I read in that Betsy Bosom's book of them actually using menthol oils to help turn babies, which I thought was very interesting. And then the third set of oils is the eugenol oils, things like clove and cinnamon. You don't want to use close to the end of your pregnancy because they do have, they affect how your body clots blood. So we want to make sure our body's doing that properly close to childbirth. So for your entire pregnancy, your nutrition needs obviously change a lot because you're growing an entire human. It's so important to stay well hydrated. This is something I struggle with. I hate water. I am a water hating person. So not getting enough water, it can lead to so many issues: constipation, headaches, muscle cramps, swelling, fatigue. It affects how your nutrients are absorbed. So what I've been finding that's really helping this pregnancy is using our Vitality Drops. There's like these little squeeze bottles. I like the grapefruit bergamot, but there's lavender lemonade also. So there's a squirt of this in your water. It has electrolytes as well, so it actually kind of boosts that hydration. And sometimes if I'm not feeling like grapefruit bergamot, our Vitality line of oils, which are all of the white label oils, are safe for ingestion. This is citrus fresh, but we have a whole, variety of different oils that you can add to your water to make them a little bit more tolerable to drink. So those have been definitely saving me because your water intake has to go way, way up. And when you're pregnant, you typically don't want to drink more water because you're peeing every 10 seconds anyways. Another vitamin that you really want to be, making sure you're getting enough of is your B vitamins. That's also where your folic acid or folic acid, depending on how you like to say it. It provides support in developing the muscle tone, skin, hair, and eyes of the developing baby. Plus, it helps give mommy extra energy, which we all need. And healthy B level vitamins are directly linked to our emotions and our hormones. So they see that a lot of the times when people suffer from depression, that their B vitamins are also, really, really low. So Young Living does have their Super B supplement, which has a host of the B vitamins, along with calcium, magnesium, and zinc, which are all very important when you're pregnant. There's a couple other supplements I want to talk about just before I get into the trimesters. Super D, which is a vitamin D supplement. It's actually a vegan formula, so if you follow a vegan diet, it's safe for you to take. But vitamin D is what helps your body absorb calcium. That's why we usually see like milk is enriched with vitamin D and calcium, because you need vitamin D to absorb the calcium. So that's needed obviously for bone and tissue growth, but babies actually get their majority of calcium from our bones, because typically we're not eating enough of it anyways. That's why later on in life you see women who suffer from, bone density issues, because babies, suck all the calcium right out of our bones. The next one is Life 9, which is a probiotic. Probiotics, obviously your gut health is super important. Not only helps with nutrient absorption and digestion, because digestion, changes all over the place when you're pregnant. But even postpartum, the infant microbiome is developed from the mom's gut flora through breast milk. So making sure your gut health is, in tip-top shape is very important. The next one is Calm, which is actually a children's supplement that Young Living offers, but adults can take it. It's a magnesium supplement. And it is super important because magnesium helps your muscles absorb other minerals. So any type of muscle discomfort, leg cramping, that kind of restless feeling, making sure you're getting enough magnesium is really important, but also your digestive muscles. So if you're not getting enough magnesium, you can, be suffering from, a intestines that aren't working up to par. This I'll talk about a little bit more towards, in the trimesters, but they're like little like pixie sticks in there. So we love those. All right, and the last supplement, it's not really a supplement, but is Ninja Red. So this is got the big bottle and the pouches. So Ninja Red is a must-have for everybody, not just pregnancy, not just women, not just, when you're trying to conceive or postpartum. Really everybody benefits from Ninja Red. It's a whole fruit puree drink. The recommended amount is 2 ounces a day. And it is a blend of the goji berry, then blueberry, plum, cherry, aronia, and pomegranate juices. Most of those are known for their antioxidant levels, which is super important. Antioxidants, we hear it a lot, and a lot of people don't know why that's important. The reason why antioxidants are important is because they're the things that go inside our body and get rid of oxidative stress levels. And what happens there is they oxidate the cells and cause those cells to die or mutate in not desirable ways. So making sure you're getting, a good dose of antioxidants helps, keep your body above that wellness line. And Crystal has a really good story about why taking Ninja Red during pregnancy is super duper important.
So yeah, I can share that. So my first pregnancy, I wasn't using oils. I wasn't drinking Ningxia Red. I actually found oils when my son was born, he was 2 months old. So when I had my daughter, I was taking a lot of the supplements, and especially Ningxia Red, I upped the dosage to actually double. And if you're queasy, you might not want to listen, but I had a doula the second time around, and part of what we were doing afterwards was encapsulating the placenta. And she told me, she'd been a doula for 25 years, and she told me she had never seen a placenta that was so healthy looking, that like the blood vessels and the capillaries were so defined. And she was like blown away by it. So I attribute that to my oils and especially my Ningxia Red. I was blown away by it. It's so cool.
I've even heard some women completely ditching the prenatal vitamins and just upping their Ninja Red. So.
Yeah, as long as you balance it with some of the other supplements. Yeah,
I'm interested.
Yeah,
see how it works out this time.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I just love working full time. I usually drink it at lunchtime, just how it helps me get through the end of the day, because usually, I remember my first pregnancy, obviously I didn't have another kid to take care of, but I would come home from work and I'd go right to bed. I was so tired and exhausted. So I obviously can't do that this time. So having the Ninja Red, later in the day really, helps. And then I've even noticed if I like forget to take it, I take it, like 5 o'clock, then like 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, I'm awake. I can't fall asleep, because it just, gives you a great sustainable energy in there. Another thing I've loved with it is making mocktails out of it, because, I absolutely can't have a fancy cocktail on the weekend. So I've definitely gotten very creative with, smoothies and mixing it with, seltzers and the vitality oils. But most of the time I drink it just straight from the bottle, or, little pouches. We tried making Jello with it the other week, which worked, but it was a lot of work. So, all right. So now on to the specific troubles of each trimester. So trimester 1, this is the one that's filled with some hidden joys of pregnancy that, you usually can't really be sharing with people, unfortunately, because, it's taboo to talk and share that news. So one of the ones that I specifically struggled with was fatigue, just being so exhausted. Your body's obviously growing life, but it's also growing that new organ, your placenta. Your body is developing a whole organ to support a growing life. So that's exhausting. So this is where diffusing oils, like lemon, the oranges, a lot of the citrus oils are really great for energizing. We actually have a blend called NRG, which I'm not sure if that's exactly how you say it, but that's a great one to really, energize the air. Young Living has a variety of diffusers to choose from, which is a must-have. We just packed one in the hospital bag, so Crystal will talk a little bit more about those oils to diffuse, but I'm very thankful to have multiple diffusers, so I get to pack one to bring to the hospital with me. This is also with fatigue, is where your Ninja Red comes in handy as well. Also available is Ninja Nitro and Ninja Zing, which are the Ninja Nitro is like a concentrated Ninja Red with a little bit of caffeine. Ninja Zing is like a carbonated energy drink. All have well below the like allowable amount of caffeine for a pregnant person. So those are great. And they the caffeine comes from tea sources, so it's no, chemical junky stuff. Next up is nausea. I was very lucky with my first to not have any nausea. So this time around, I was, took me by surprise. I didn't really know what that felt like. So it came on very strong this time, even though like the thought of certain foods or like watching my husband like touch chicken was just like would completely turn my stomach. So we diffused a lot of lemon and ginger, along with Digis and Tummy Jis. Those are two blends that Young Living offers that are like the super powerhouse of like digestive support oils. What I also liked was, I had bought these for my daughter, but I've been using them a lot, is the Kids Sense rollers. This is a Tummy Jis one that we usually kept in the car. But definitely, rolling this on my wrist and smelling it throughout the day, rubbing it like here, because, we, have our masks on these days. So this really, really helped me get through those, super queasy moments at work where you're also not allowed to be telling people like, oh, I'm queasy because I'm pregnant. But so those two really, really helped. Another supplement that a lot of people absolutely swear by is alkaline. It's a powder supplement that helps regulate the pH of your stomach. So when you get that really acidic stomach, it's not just for pregnant people, anybody who gets a kind of acid stomach. It's super easy powder. You just put right in water. They have like pre-dosed sticks, I kind of like to call them. That you can just add directly to water, mix it, drink it, and it really helps to alkalize your stomach. I'm pretty sure is what you want, right? Oh, that's the opposite of acid, right? The third thing in the first trimester that we suffer from is our emotions. Our hormones come racing in. You may experience, random bouts of crying over absolutely nothing. Mood swings, just a general fear over, the things that can go wrong in the first trimester. So this is where diffusing oils really comes in handy. They not only make your surroundings smell nice, but there's actually scientific backing behind diffusing. When you diffuse oils, they actually enter the limbic system in your brain, which is responsible for regulating all of those emotions. So diffusing, stress away, peace and calming, joy, orange, valor, lemon. There's a whole, medicine cabinet full of oils that you can diffuse for, emotional support. So that's kind of everything for the first trimester that I'm going to touch base on. So over to the second trimester, which is typically the best trimester for some people. I haven't found either one of them to be the best, but typically this is when, nausea is lifting, hopefully energy levels are starting to, level back out. But now this is when, your skin is typically not really loving pregnancy so much, and your immune system really needs that extra boost. So I did not glow my first pregnancy. I haven't felt that glowing mother thing this pregnancy either. I've found myself having that kind of skin that resembles, a teenage girl. So I've loved having products that, I can really trust this time around to be cleansing my skin with, knowing that whatever's going on my skin is entering my blood system and passing on to the baby. Our cosmetic and personal care industry is just absolutely terrifying in this country. The things that should be banned aren't banned. So there's great resources out there if anybody's interested in looking at those and becoming more informed about them. But what I've been really loving is the Art Skincare line, which I forgot to grab and bring in here to show. But it's a frankincense-based skincare line that Young Living offers. And frankincense is really good for emotional support and skin support. Another one I've been loving is the Satin Mint facial scrub. So It has little, I think it's like apricot shells in it to really help scrub and exfoliate because it's been winter this pregnancy. So my skin is, affected from that. But it has that really nice minty smell, which was great for nausea as well. And it's very cooling to the face. So, especially this time, like I feel very bloated in the face and, swollen and just gross at this stage. So having that cooling sensation on my face is awesome. Besides having blemishes, I've also loved getting to make, little DIY sugar scrubs with Gentle Baby, which has rose oil in it, which is awesome, which Tiffany and Crystal will talk a little bit more about Gentle Baby and why that one's so amazing. And making body butters with lavender and frankincense to really, moisturize the belly and prevent those tiger stripes. So I've loved having the option of like much better personal care items this time around than I did with my first. Second trimester is typically when the muscle aches and pains really start. Like I talked about before, magnesium is the main reason for that. So having that calm powder before bedtime has really been, saving me. And what's really nice about that is it satisfies your sweet tooth. So I'm not eating, like right now, I just got candy out and I've been eating a lot of that before bed. So taking a calm packet instead is a little healthier option. So on to the third trimester. It's super fun. Body aches, stress, exhaustion, digestive discomfort, just ending it strong here. So body aches, this is one that we've been using a lot lately, is Copaiba and Idaho Balsam Fir, diluted with the Young Living's V6 oil. So V6 is a blend of 6 different carrier oils. So it's awesome for massage. What's great for this, besides obviously being relaxing to, the sore legs, the sore back, is it's helping my husband practice for having to do that in the labor and delivery room for me, of, applying, the pressure points to my back and my feet and my shoulders and so on. So it's a great way to practice. Digestive support, your stomach now at this point is like, I think my stomach's like up here somewhere, sitting sideways, tucked up under my diaphragm in my lungs. So, I'm hungry, but I can only eat like 2 bites of food at a time. So lemon and digest and the tummy jice has really been helping me, especially when, I eat something with onions in it and that's all I can taste the rest of the day because it's, my stomach's right here. So digestive with the lemon and digest is perfect. And sleep. So sleep, this is like just when I want to be stocking up on all the sleep I can get. I find it tough to get, comfortable. Rolling over has become a chore in the middle of the night, getting up, every hour to pee pretty much. So diffusing has been really helping me at least fall asleep. There's a lot of, stress at the end of the day of, oh no, I still have to do this, that, and the other thing to get ready for the baby. So cedarwood and lavender have been like this amazing blend helping me fall asleep and stay asleep. Another favorite is Sacred Mountain, which I actually discovered from Betsy Bosom's book. So that's a huge, huge addition to our house. Other ones that are popular is Sleepy Eyes, Valor, Peace and Calming, and Roman Chamomile to diffuse to help you, calm down at the end of the day. So there's tons and tons and tons of different options for, sleep support. So sleep is so important because at this stage, you're needing to rest up and get ready for, labor and delivery. So I'll pass it over to Crystal to talk about the next fun stage of motherhood.
Awesome. Thank you for all those tips. Those are so good. All right. So I'm so excited to share with you guys about labor and delivery because when I think about my 2 labor and deliveries, they were polar opposites for a few reasons, like medical as well as oils. But I'm going to tell you guys my second labor and delivery was so much faster, so much easier, and so much more manageable because I had these tools to reach to that I felt safe using. So I'm going to kind of bring you through different sections of labor and delivery, and even like right after you have the baby, things you can be doing that are completely safe to use. So first I want to talk about vaginal births. Things we think about during a vaginal labor and delivery would be pain, calming, and nausea again. So I'm going to talk about those three things, as well as really helping move contractions along. So like Jamie kind of alluded to before, especially towards the end of your end of your pregnancy, you don't want to be using these oils because they actually help to move labor along. So once you know you're full term and you want that baby out, and the doctor says you're safe to start doing things to help move the baby along, that's when you start using these oils. So the first thing that most people think about right away is that pain, that discomfort that comes along with pregnancy. And so two oils that I'm going to specifically recommend with that is Panaway and Copaiba. Together, separate, doesn't matter, but together it's like a powerhouse combination, especially if you have back labor. Back labor is no joke, guys. And once you've experienced it, you're like, there's nothing like that. Like, it's bad. So putting some Panaway on your back, it has a very similar sensation to that Bengay, but none of the chemicals, none of the added everything that's in that stuff, but it has that cooling and warming sensation. Top it up with some Copaiba and you've just intensified it like tenfold, and it lasts for many hours. Like, you can reapply if needed, but it will last you. Like, so putting these oils on was a lifesaver, especially even your legs get tired, you're walking around a lot. You could apply it to your neck. If your neck is sore, it doesn't matter. You can apply it wherever you need it for those, those tight spots. So those are my go-tos that I used for kind of that muscle support. Second thing that I did immediately when I got to the hospital, like to my room, was my calming oils. So I got my diffuser out, and Peace and Calming is like my go-to for everything. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I could literally just sit here and like huff Peace and Calming. So that was what I put in my diffuser, Peace and Calming. You could do a mixture of different oils, but this oil, when you find your oil that grounds you and makes you feel comfortable, this is that oil for me. It's like citrusy. It has a little bit of like woodsy grounding. It has like different tones that I get throughout it based on what I need. So I put that in the diffuser right away, changed the whole mood of the room. It's just wonderful. Other oils that you can definitely use for calming and grounding, though, would be frankincense. Frankincense is very, very grounding. People also actually use this right after the baby is born to anoint the baby, very similar, dating all the way back to the Bible. And so frankincense is very grounding. So you could mix a little bit of that into the diffuser. You could apply some topically so that it's right on you. That's a really good choice. The next one is lavender. So lavender is like the Swiss Army knife of oils. It smells wonderful. It's very florally. It helps relax. It helps calm. It's great for your skin. So that's a really good one to apply topically or put in the diffuser as well. The other one I want to talk about is Valor. So Valor, I call this courage in a bottle. So I don't know about you guys, but if this is your first baby, you will need courage during labor and delivery. If this is like Jamie, like your second baby, like, you need that courage. So put all the Valor on you can get, put a little roller on the top and just roll it on, because it's just so great. It's really a good confidence booster, makes you brave, makes you feel like you can do it. So, and you definitely need that during labor. And then the next one I'm going to talk about for calming is Gentle Baby. Gentle Baby is such a sweet and almost like subtle smell, has a little florally tone to it. But I have a very like close connection to this oil now. It was the first oil that I used with my daughter, Maddie. And so what I did was I put a little bit on my neck right after she was born, so that when we were doing skin to skin, it was kind of like that bonding oil. It was the first thing that we smelled together. It actually helps with bonding. It's made for that. And so every time I smell it, just like brings back that memory. It's such a great memory. It's also what I diffused in my hospital room the whole entire time that I was there after having her. And I can tell you, every person that walked into the room was like, "Oh my God, it smells so good in here. What is that?" And I'm like, "It's gentle baby. Like, so it's such a great smell, not overpowering. It's safe enough that the baby can breathe it in as well. So that was one that we definitely packed in our hospital bag and we still use all the time. All right. Next, I want to talk about moving contractions along. So you get to a point where you're like, okay, I must be getting close, right? And then the doctor comes in and like, you're 4 centimeters. And you're like, come on. Not that I experienced that at all, right? So to move contractions along, clary sage is what I used most. This was wonderful. You can put it in the diffuser if you want to, but I just applied it topically. I applied it like above my belly, down my sides, around everywhere I could get it, on my feet. Like I just applied it all over. And the second one is jasmine. So jasmine is so great. It's a much more florally smell, but really helps to speed those contractions up, changes the hormones in your body as you're changing from oxytocin to pitocin. So it's just changing those, helping that move along quicker, helping your body say, oh, yep, we got to get ready. So those are 2 that I highly recommend to pack in the hospital bag because you're going to want to move along as fast as possible. Okay. As transition comes, that tends to be a time, especially for me, where the nausea comes. I actually vomited with both of my kids during that time. It made me very sick. And so what I turned to during that was peppermint and digize. So peppermint and digize, I know Jamie touched on them too, were really, really helpful to keep myself feeling like I'm like not nauseous, like it was just sitting here on me and you could just feel it. And I don't know, it wasn't a good feeling. So peppermint is really great for that. Even if you don't feel comfortable putting this on, you could just smell it and it would be helpful. So that was what I did. And you can even like take a toothpick in there and kind of just like put a tiny drop on your tongue. You could do a lot with this. And then the digize I like to put on topically. So I put that on my belly and then I put a tiny little bit under my tongue. And that really helped a lot too. Okay, so that, let me make sure I look at my notes here. Okay, yes. The other thing you want to think about is your support person or people. They need to be using these oils too, because at least myself and my husband, I always like kind of take for granted that he's working hard during this too. Maybe not physically, but emotionally and like worrying, he's doing a lot too. So whoever your support person is, make sure they're applying all these oils to themselves too. Like take some for you and then pass it on. And actually, I had a funny story. One of the nurses was like, "Oh, can I try that?" And I'm like, yes, you can. Please be calm during my delivery because I know I'm not going to be. So that was kind of funny. All right, let's see. So the next thing I want to talk about is energy. So you get to the hospital, like, yes, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. And like a couple hours goes by and you're like, oh my God, like what has happened? I feel like I got hit by a bus, right? You need that boost of energy to come back. So I brought a bunch of the Ningxia Red packets with me. Like Jamie talked about, this is great. It's not like energy drink that's going to like make you run marathons, but it's that sustained energy. So as soon as my water broke at home, I started taking this and I took it every few hours during my labor because I knew that I would need that and I would need that energy to stay prolonged. So I took this and I definitely added the vitality drops too for the extra electrolytes to keep myself hydrated, keep my body going during that, during that little battle. Okay, let's see. Next thing I want to do is give you a couple recipes that can be super helpful. The things we think about as soon as baby comes. So I kind of want to switch gears here. We've now like got our bundle in our arms, right? And we have to think about our bodies right away at the hospital. So perineal care. So everybody, whether you have an episiotomy, whether you tear, whether you get stitches or not, you're going to need perineal care. And so one awesome recipe that came out of this book is called the DIY Padsicle recipe. Love this recipe. So it's so simple. You're going to make this in a 4-ounce spray bottle. You're going to do 1.5 ounces aloe vera, 1.5 ounces witch hazel, and 15 to 20 drops of lavender, frankincense, tea tree, and helichrysum. So we talked about lavender and frankincense. Tea tree is really great for healing, and so is helichrysum. Really, really great for healing properties. So you're just literally going to mix it up and spray it onto your pads. Don't soak them too much or they'll get super hard. But then you can actually you can layer them up in like a Ziploc bag with some parchment paper and put them in the freezer. so that when you take them out, they're actually cold and you can apply them on cold. And it makes a world of a difference. Like you will thank me afterwards and be like, oh my gosh, I needed that.
I'm actually making some of those this week.
Good,
The
good.
different things you do differently with a second kid.
Yeah.
Hurry? No.
Yes.
Popsicles? Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
great idea.
Yeah, I know. So definitely let us report back. Let us know how that goes. Okay. Second thing I want to tell you about is a little sitz bath, which you can kind of also make into a spray if you needed to, but a sitz bath would be really great to sit in afterwards for the healing and for just soaking in. So the recipe that they give for that is 1 cup of Epsom salt, a 1/4 cup of sea salt, 5 drops of tea tree, 5 drops of frankincense, and 7 drops of lavender. So you guys are seeing a theme here. Those oils are really great for healing, really great for the skin, really great for, you know, those properties. And all you're going to do is mix the oils into the salts in a jar or bowl. And every time you take a bath, just sprinkle a little bit in, sit in the bath. I know taking a bath with newborn is probably like unheard of, but you do have to be able to take care of yourself during this time so that you can be there and support your baby, right? So you have to do these things for yourself. And I think that's important. And even if like taking a bath isn't in the cards, you could even make that in a spray bottle, add some water with the salt in there and just spritz yourself if you had to and rinse it off, you know, during a shower. Anything that's going to get those onto your body is going to be helpful. Okay, then the last recipe I want to give you is for hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids are very common after pregnancy. They do go away. They're kind of taboo. People don't like to talk about them, but we're going to just lay it on the table here. So hemorrhoids, things that you can make for that is a bottom soothing bathroom pad. So you're going to use 1 tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of witch hazel, 8 drops of cypress oil, and 2 drops each of lavender and frankincense. And you're going to pour over a jar or container of 10 to 12 cotton rounds. So mix all that together, take those little cotton rounds, pour it on it so that they kind of get damp. And then every time you go to the bathroom, you're just going to use that and it will really, really help speed things along for the healing. All right, make sure I didn't skip anything. No. Okay, so those are the recipes I wanted to share. So now baby is here, we're taking care of ourselves, we're kind of maybe transitioning back to home, maybe you had a home birth, you're kind of transitioning into day-to-day life. Couple things that you can do. Actually, the one thing I want to point out that I didn't is Clariderm spray. So you can use Clariderm spray right onto your body, on perineal, on the hemorrhoids, any place. And that is super easy to just spritz right on. And that is very, very helpful during that time. The thing that we did afterwards, which I kind of alluded to already, is the gentle baby in the diffuser. Sometimes I would put it like even in my hair while I was nursing so that that smell was right there, but not necessarily touching the baby, not even on my skin, but just the smell was there. It's almost like a personal diffuser right on the end of my hair. But you could diffuse it. It really, really helps with the bonding. It helps with like, I struggle a lot with both my kids with breastfeeding. So as soon as it would be breastfeeding time, I know my body would like immediately tense up and I didn't even realize it. But one of my lactation consultants pointed it out. She was like, your body is, you immediately get tense. And I was like, oh, I don't even realize that, like I'm getting nervous, you know? So I would diffuse that and that would really help just like set the mood in the room, make me focus on that, make my body relax. So I think that was really helpful too. Okay, I want to quickly talk about C-sections, but a lot of it is very similar. So if you have an emergency C-section or a planned C-section, you can do a lot of the same things proactively. So you can take your Ningxia Red and your electrolytes. You're still going to need that energy. Baby's going to come. You're not going to have a lot of sleep that first night. You're going to need that energy. Take it. You can use all of those calming oils I just told you. Like having a baby, no matter what way you have a baby, is going to be nerve-wracking. It's going to be scary. You're going to be worrying about things, but it's also going to be a happy time. But you want to take those calming oils so that you feel more of those feelings than letting that fear creep in. The Clariderm spray that I mentioned before, you can use that on your incision afterwards. Once you get the okay from your doctor, you want to make sure we're not putting anything on an open wound. You want it to heal for a couple days first, and then we can immediately apply that right on once the doctor says it's okay. Frankincense and helichrysum are also awesome for healing. So put that all over your belly afterwards. But other than that, a lot of the stuff is very similar. And you can use them the same for the nausea, for aches and pains, whatever you have, even during a C-section. You can use all of the same oils and all the same products. So now baby is here, and Tiffany will tell us some products and stuff that we can use for the postpartum period.
Awesome. That's takes me back just hearing all of that. I was like literally sniffing my gentle baby when you said that. Because it's so true. It's the first oil I use too with Fiona. So my fifth. And whenever I smell it, I'm like right back there in the hospital room, and agreed. The nurses were like, we want to hang out in your room
Yeah.
because it smells so good. Okay, awesome. So we're home with baby. I'm first going to talk about Young Living's seedling line, which I've had 5 babies, so I've used a lot of products out there. And I have to say that the seedlings line is like my absolute favorite, besides the fact that it's, I know I can trust it, and I know it's very safe for my baby. They're all infused. All the products are infused with lavender and other amazing oils, and they're just so great. So I have the baby wash and shampoo, which I love. It has like a little pumper top, so it's great for all those bath times for washing, the baby's body, washing their scalp, scrubbing their little scalp gently, trying to get that cradle cap and everything. And the diaper rash cream is the bomb. It's so good, right? It's so
It's
good.
literally the best. We still use
It's
it.
so good. And I've used a lot of different ones, probably some that I'm like, now I'm like, why did I use that? So, you're always like, is it gonna work as well? And it is. Like literally, she'll be like red. I'll put it on the next diaper change. I swear it's better. It's like, how did that happen so fast? So this is another one that's like a lifesaver. So good. We use it all the time. And I don't feel bad about like over like, you know, putting it on too much, because it literally is just like so safe. The body lotion smells wonderful. Like when you get the baby out and you're doing like your little massage and getting them ready for bed. That's like one of my favorite routines, right? Doing the little bath time, bringing them back, getting them all with their lotion. And then there's also a baby oil, which I did not try this time. And now I'm like, Jamie was telling us that the oil is really good. So I think I need to go grab some of that. But it's like that nice massage time and like calming, soothing time that really preps the baby and mom for bedtime or for calming. I mean, this like works for everybody. I mean, my kids would come in and help me with the baby, and I feel like they would like feel the effects of like the lavender in the calming, in the seedlings. There's also a linen spray, which is really nice if you think about, I know new moms don't need a lot of help getting to sleep, but you can definitely spray it on your pillows and your sheets, maybe the other kiddos in the family, so they're sleeping too. But anything to help mommy, baby, the whole family kind of have that like nice calming effect, and prepare for sleep each night. And the wipes are amazing. They are like, I feel like it's like little cloths that you pull out. They're super soft, and actually they're really great, not just for baby. Like I use them to take off my makeup. They're just great in general. They have a nice soft touch and just smell super wonderful. So I can't say enough about the seedlings line. It's just really amazing and gentle and super calming. And I've just found it to be just the best products that I've used. So let's move into a couple of others. So in talking about the oil, though, I just want to mention it's, that's great for calming before bed. But also it's great for those times. We know that sometimes babies get a little backed up. And it's super, super upsetting to everybody because they can get so upset about it. And you can tell they're uncomfortable. They're arching their back and just wrenching in pain. And it's like the worst feeling as a mom. And I will say that baby massage is so, so good for that. Massaging their little feetsies, also like doing circular massages on their belly, and then kind of bringing it downwards after you do kind of like that circular massage, kind of sometimes can help get things going. And using that seedlings oil is just going to help calm and help move things along. But also tummy dye. So we were talking a lot about dyes for mom when you're in labor or even pregnant, but tummy dyes, and I have the roller right here that we use. My kiddos use this. This is also a great one for babies when they're a little bit backed up. I usually just rub it on myself or dilute it a little bit. This is already pre-diluted, but we know with babies, we want to make sure we're really diluting and being careful. But just a tiny bit and just massaging that kind of can help get things going. So tummy dyes is definitely one that we turn to a lot. As baby gets, well, before we get to that, also with the cradle cap, I actually have not used this yet, but I am hearing that rose ointment is super amazing for cradle cap. I, um, but because we use such gentle products, I'm always like so nervous about some of the products that are out there that you can use for cradle cap to get rid of it. And I don't want to use anything harsh. So rose ointment, even the shampoo, I will say has helped a lot. And we also made a little salve with calendula petals, and there's frankincense and lavender and beeswax in here. And we soaked the calendula petals in a nice olive oil for like 3 weeks, I think. So it's just a super nourishing, awesome salve. And we just heard how frankincense and lavender, right, are good for so many things, but healing. And so after the little bath, putting that on baby's head, kind of massaging that in gently can be super amazing for cradle cap as well. So that's another great one. When baby gets a little older, kind of around that 6-month time, we know we start to see some teething happening. And we want that gum support. One great, you heard about it before, is copaiba. We talked about how it's great for pain, bodies and aches and pains, but it's also great if you dilute it, make a little roller out of it with a carrier oil and just rub it nicely on the cheeks. That can really help with some support when baby is really feeling that pain there. So that's another great use for copaiba. And obviously our diffusers are like, I don't know how I didn't have a diffuser with my first couple of kids because it's just such a game changer, but you can literally use your diffuser to help with calming for nap time or bedtime. You can use your diffuser if the babies are a little stuffed up. You can put some sniffles in there and kind of get that running to kind of break that up. And the diffuser is only going to help you as well. So that's a great way to do it also. So now that we've talked a little bit about baby, let's move into mommy because mommy's super, super important. We know that baby needs a lot of care, but if mommy is not healthy, that can make it really, really hard. So first of all, we know as moms, we have to reach out to family and friends and other mamas for support. Hopefully you're coming to this and watching this because of that. Some of the oils that we talked about already for kind of grounding us as moms are Valor and frankincense. Frankincense, I mean, this is like the oil that's going to carry you from the minute you conceive to till baby's like 21 years old and on, right? But frankincense is just going to be really great for kind of balancing. We know that it can be an emotional time between really, really highs to sometimes those lows that come as well with adjustments in your hormones and just adjustments in your emotional state. So Valor and frankincense were like my go-tos after pregnancy, just to kind of balance myself. So those are really, really awesome. Genesis body lotion was amazing on my skin after baby. I mean, I literally use this on my belly during pregnancy as well, but even after, and my skin on my baby bump, former baby bump, really seemed to hydrate and go back to its normal self with really using a lot of the Genesis body cream. So I loved that. Hydration for mamas, we know that can affect our moods, that can affect our energy, that can affect just our overall physical health. especially if you're nursing. So Jamie mentioned this, but just making sure that you're hydrating, and sometimes that's hard. I know I feel the same way about water many times, and we have to drink so much of it as new mommies, especially nursing. So I will also say that the vitality drops, and then some of our vitality oils like jade lemon in my water just made it so much easier to chug down a whole glass of water and feel good about that. So that is like super, super important. And Ningxia, again, I know sometimes we like to cut back on the coffee when we're nursing or when we're recovering. So Ningxia, I have found in the afternoons, is a great pick me up for me. I don't need an extra cup of coffee. So continuing with the Ningxia is so important. For myself, I find with my body that when I'm nursing, I have a really hard time not only keeping up with the hydration, but keeping up with my nutrients. So I can get to a point where I have extremely debilitating migraines and some other really funky side effects if I'm not keeping up with my nutrition. And I have found that with Ningxia, it just gives me that little bit more of an edge when you know you're crazy, you're taking care of everybody else, but the Ningxia, taking that, I know my body is getting that boost in nutrition and I can really keep up with the nursing. So, and just life as a mom in general. So that's been really, really awesome. Hormone depletion, again, is something that we deal with in postpartum. And there's so many options for this, but it's something that I think gets skipped over a lot for new moms. We know we feel the emotions, but what are we actually doing to kind of support that imbalance that we feel? One great option is Progessence Plus, and that is extracted from yams, and it supports healthy progesterone levels in women. So that can be a great oil to just rub on once a day to kind of bring your body back into balance. Super helpful for all the things that we go through with pregnancy, then labor, and then nurturing a new little being. Also, clary sage. We heard Crystal talk about clary sage for labor. That was amazing. I loved clary sage during my labor, like rubbed that on my belly and like things were going and kept going. And it was just awesome. But I have found that I am really drawn to it after in postpartum, especially in the first couple of weeks. I would diffuse that and rub that on. Like I just was really drawn to it, and it would help sometimes with some of those lingering cramps that I would have, but also just to keep you balanced. So every now and then I throw it in my diffuser. I actually use the diffuser blend that I had in the hospital, and that's so super helpful. So that's another great one for kind of balancing those hormones, because that is really helpful for healthy estrogen levels. Another balancing supplement is Femagene, and that can support the body finding its natural rhythm again. So there's a lot, and there's so many more. So you got to kind of find the one that works for you, but definitely make sure you have something that you're working on to kind of balance that hormonal depletion. And as far as nursing, we talked a little bit about that, but if you want to increase your supply, I know a couple of years ago, I took a supplement that had fennel in it. Fennel is super, super helpful for that. With our Vitality fennel, it's super easy because you can drop 2 drops of that into a veggie capsule and take that to help increase your supply. And also, this is a new one that I just learned, 2 drops of basil diluted with a carrier oil right to your breast after you're done feeding can really help increase your milk supply as well, which is awesome. And then for those fun little hiccups that we have, like mastasis, Melrose is a great oil for that. And lavender, once again, lavender is so good for so many things, but that's another one that you can kind of use to help that. And nipple cream. We always need nipple creams. And I love that we can, with these oils and tools, we can kind of make what we need, right? So here's an awesome nipple cream recipe for you. Beeswax, coconut oil, olive oil, lavender, frank and hibiscus powder. And once again, there's that lavender and frank combo that's just like amazing. And lastly, I'll just wrap it up with, we know we're going to be doing some cleaning and sometimes getting out of the house. We want to make sure we're using products that are safe for the mommies and the little babies. So cleaning around the house, I always feel super, super comfortable using my Thieves household cleaner. I use this everywhere. It's the only cleaner that's in the house. So I know when baby starts crawling, that I don't have to worry about the floors and toxic chemicals. I can clean her high chair now with that and feel totally fine, because there's nothing toxic and it's boosting your immune system at the same time. And I will say that the Thieves laundry soap too is so awesome. And I think back to some of the brands that I used, including that very, very popular baby laundry soap that is full of synthetic fragrance. Like I can still smell how strong it is and thinking to myself, how is that okay for babies? So Thieves laundry soap is so important. And when you're on the go, guys, your Thieves hand sanitizer and your Thieves spray will be great for your diaper bags. So that's it for me.
Awesome. Such good tips. Okay, so let me just close this out real quick. So whether you are expecting, whether you are a new mom, whether you're planning to have kids down the road, we hope you found some tips. I know we shared a ton of information tonight. So just take one or two things that you think will work for you, start with that, and then see how it goes. You can always switch from there. So whether you already have a Young Living account, go ahead and place those in an order and just get them stocked up. If you're expecting or planning to have kids in the future, you can start, planning for that. If you already have a baby, then you can start using some of the seedlings products like Tiffany said. But just if you have questions, let any of us know, refer back to anybody who invited you to this video. They'll be able to help you for sure. If you do not have a Young Living account yet, I'm just going to walk you through really quickly some great options that would be related to some baby products. So getting started with Young Living is kind of like a good, better, best situation. So a good way to get started would be as a retail customer. And what that means is you kind of choose a la carte. So maybe you say, oh, I really like the Peace and Calming, and I know I'll need the Clariderm spray and definitely that Ningxia Red. So yes, you could go in and choose those three things, but you'd be paying a retail price, which is 24% more. And so you wouldn't be getting any of the perks, promotions, and you'd be paying more. So a better way that I like to tell people to get started is as a wholesale member. And what that means is you're going to be starting with a kit essentially. And that gives you wholesale status, which means you get 24% off the entire catalog. And you get, whenever there's perks and promotions that come along, you have the option for those too. So what I was thinking for you guys is there's two options that came to my mind. There are a few different kits. So if neither of these call to you, definitely talk to the person who invited you and they can go over all the options. But the first kit I was thinking about was the Little Oilers kit. And this kit is specifically kid related. So it comes with I should have grabbed the diffuser, I apologize. A really cute owl diffuser, which for baby's room, you can use it for your room too, absolutely. But it's super cute. It also has a sound machine on it, cute little light. You change it by like touching the feet. It's adorable. And then it comes with some of the different kid oils that you could just also dilute a little bit further for baby. You could use them if you have older kids, you can use them on yourself. So that's a great option. The kit is really discounted. Guys, I forgot off the top of my head, is it 125? 125, right? 135?
What? Yeah, it's 125 or 135.
Okay, sorry, I should have looked that up too. It's been a crazy day. Mom life over here has been real today. So it's between 125 and 135. I'm pretty sure it's 125, but we'll see. But basically it's super discounted because if you were to buy each of those things at retail, we're talking over probably $250. The other option though, let's say you're liking that a la carte option, you just want to pick a few things to get started. We have something called a basic kit, and that basic kit is a $45 investment, and it's basically you're into Young Living and into that wholesale. So think about like a BJ's membership. You buy a membership. This is only a one-time membership. You don't have to pay it yearly, but one-time membership, and then you get the discounts, for your life of Young Living. So you also get a couple different little products to try in that. You get some Stress Away, you get some mints, and you'll get a couple other things. But then you can choose a la carte what you would like, and you can almost create your own little baby kit or own little hospital hospital kit, whatever you're looking to create, and still get that 24% discount. So that would be definitely a better way to get started. But the absolute best way to get started is what we call our loyalty rewards program. So this program is our monthly program, similar again to think about like Amazon Subscribe and Save, things you're ordering anyways, you just want a better discount on. So it's not, it's not just the oils we're throwing in there, it's that Ningxia Red. Like we talked about it at all three parts of our talk tonight, because Ningxia Red is something that everybody should be on, whether you're a parent or not. I mean, everybody can benefit from Ningxia Red. The supplements, maybe it's the oils, maybe it's you want to throw some vitality drops. Those are things that we can be ordering every single month, getting an even bigger discount. You can earn all the way up to 25% back. So just by being a wholesale member, you get 24% back. You can earn up to 25% back. So we're talking almost 50% off of products. And then you get extra perks and promotions and freebies thrown in along the way, which is phenomenal. So that's definitely the best way. You can put your starter bundle, that little Oilers kit that I talked to you about, you can throw that on your loyalty rewards for the first month, get an extra $10 off of that. I mean, we have a lot of ways for you to save money up front. So definitely reach out to whoever invited you here, and they'll be able to help you, which makes the most sense for you, save you the most money, and works within your budget. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. Those are kind of your options to get started. If you have questions, feel free to ask them anytime. We're here for you. And we do want to invite you though, if you're watching this in real time, obviously this applies to real time. If you're watching the replay, it doesn't apply to that. We have a couple great events coming up. Every Tuesday night, there's an intro event. So this actually does apply, where we'll talk all about different oils that you can use for different body systems and some different products. But then next Sunday night, so that's I don't want to give you the wrong date, hold on. Sunday the 14th at 7:30, we are hosting a ladies' night in, where we're going to be doing some facials and talking about all lady products, which moms can definitely benefit from, which we do these occasionally too. So even if you're watching this later on, ask about it because we might have one coming up. So hopefully you guys learned something tonight, and thank you for joining us. We hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye guys.